chicks.
Here's the thing, Ryan. There is a multiplier for things called impossible tasks. Everything you're saying, can you do it? Yes. But there's an asterisk that says with consequences. Potentially with consequences. No, hold on. Let me rephrase. There's a second asterisk after the with consequences that says the word potentially.
Well, the consequences increase cost.
So it's just smaller version of the at least passenger one. The fighter.
Dude, if you just want a train that moves from planet to planet in space, you can absolutely do it. It's the moving from planet to orbit that is the issue. Going from orbit to planet is actually really easy.
Welcome back, guys.
It'd be planet to orbit. What I'm thinking of, in orbit to planet.
I am sorry that we were away. Unfortunately, we had a wire that had to be buried, and they were taking care of getting the other wire out of there. So.
Yes. Well, underground internet lines for the win.
What I'm hearing is that you should have ran out there with a sledgehammer and just went psycho.
What would that help?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've heard that Ignis is kind of tall.
Yo?
So you could have just been like, here, have a sledgehammer, go nuts. And then he could have ran out there and pretended to be like the Chainsaw Massacre guy. And scared the crap out of everyone into fixing your internet quicker.
I like not being in jail personally.
That would technically be. Technically, it's only threatening, not actual assaulting yet.
Probably still put me in trouble with the authorities.
Yeah, but in most states, that's only a fine.
Okay, fine. We'll let it slide this time.
Anyway.
Welcome back, guys.
On that bombshell.
It was. Where were we with Raiden and Cormac? Because we left somehow. I thought you were done, but I wasn't sure. And then...
Yeah, they were having their convo at the volcano about stuff.
You went silent around the same time he asked the question. You know how we seem to understand our powers even if we don't know where they came from.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
To speed things up a little bit, Cormac and Raiden are basically spending their first 4 Dominion project to make the area habitable for their factions. And technically, because we're doing this, we're both paying for this, it's Scope 2. So actually, we could, in fact, hold everybody's factions here, but, people are doing their own thing.
Well, yeah.
For the mechanic basis, this is a Scope 2 project, which means it can hold up to 100,000 people, which is 50 times the size of both of our factions currently, combined.
Right. Because I think you can have a maximum, 2,000 right now?
On your own.
Roughly.
No, numbers being nebulous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Like,
it's just like a scope. We have created a area that is a scope of magnitude bigger than the 2 of ours combined.
Because 1 + 1 does not equal 2.
Yeah, not in this system. Well, sometimes it does, just not in this case.
Fair enough. Sometimes it means that, but
Welcome to God calculus. And then the only other thing I'm going to do is as Cormac and Raiden are doing this thing and the volcano becomes agitated for a little bit, the camera is going to drop down, and luckily this doesn't cost her any Dominion. Kaya is going to kneel onto the ground, and she has the major gift under fertility. I think it's major. Might be minor. Who gives a shit? She has it.
And what is this gift?
Unending abundance. The land you designate within a 10-mile radius becomes impossibly fertile, crops erupting in mere hours and feeding any number of people within that area. If applied as a gift and not as a one-off miracle, she has it as a gift. This persistent fertility counts as a beneficial feature any faction that controls the land, though it cannot be sacrificed in the case of the lost conflict it was involved in. This does not go away.
Nice.
Hi, Vosh.
It's
And I do believe 10-mile radius will in fact reach Nepi.
It will. Because you guys are close enough to each other.
Congratulations, Shiv. I just fed your entire settlement.
Yeah. it will help your settlement as well. So.
At no cost.
Nice. Well done.
But I can end it whenever I want, so don't piss me off.
Oh. That would be bad.
Granted, that would never happen because that would be shooting my own self in the foot.
Exactly.
But I would do it. I am
Yes.
vindictive enough that I would just be like, fuck it, we're just gonna move again.
Just
Fuck it,
do
we're gonna
it.
make a better planet with blackjack and hookers.
What?
Blackjack and hookers.
I said, fuck it, we're gonna make a better planet with blackjack and hookers.
I have no problem with this.
So
You know what?
you're
Forget the blackjack.
in control of the planet, right?
Yeah,
Does my
rum and hookers.
All right, now that we know about this, let's go ahead and head over to Ignis, who's going to show us how to do faction turns, as well as let us know what is going on in downtime with Ignis.
Oh yeah,
Before-
Shiv's also been working on his Thane bioweapon.
How dare you?
Before you go to this, I have a question. Are you turning left or right? For your faction turn.
We always turn clockwise.
To the right, got it.
Well, I'm turning all the way
Going
around
backflip.
multiple times and going straight down. Screw you guys.
Oh, so you're doing a faction flip. Alright.
Traction drill. I'm just gonna spin my wheels. Anyway,
Alright. So, we are working with 5 months, correct?
Yes.
Alright. So, during the next 5 months of downtime, Ignis is going to predominantly be restructuring the Cult of the Devouring Flame, also known as his cult. Over time, he fosters 5 unique branches within the cult, each responsible for a different facet of the Faith's duties. The first one, they've already existed. You know them. They are well, you might not know them, but they've been around. The Crimson Scales are the equivalent of the Faith's high clergy and bear authority to collect the Scales toll, a monthly tithe from each of the other followers. They manage the immense wealth accumulated by the cult and puts those resources into various projects conducted by the cult. The second branch, they accompanied us on our assault against FN. The Ivory Claws are more or less the foot soldier. The most numerous of members, they protect the interests of the cult and strike down enemies of the faith with extreme prejudice. The new branches, however, of which there are 3, each one coming into play 1 month after the other, as Ignis is rapidly altering the structure of the cult. The Azure Wings are like ambassadors and envoys who are sent to allies and other factions. For now, just the other PC cults to basically set non-aggression pacts, peace agreements, and ensure both sides are suitably avoiding one another's territories and interests when not agreed upon. As the Cult of the Devouring Flame has become more and more of a known quantity within the Opus, also sending dispatches to like nearby gangs or whatnot. There was actually one incident where the Sentient Gang took offense at their presence and killed an Azure Wing sent to negotiate peace. Such an act of flagrant offense drew the ire of Ignis himself, and in an instant, no survivors escaped his retribution. Ever since, other smaller neutral factions have veered against initiating violence against these diplomats. And they've been brokering peace with the nearby settlements. The Viridian Eyes were created as an expanding spy network to keep tabs on the happenings of other factions and compile information to be later used as weapons against would-be enemies. Blackmail, coercion, bribery are common activities of them, as they infiltrate the infrastructure of other groups. And lastly, we could say Shiv helped with this in some extent, but the Ascidian Skulls were founded as a necessity in a technological world, because every faction needs to have some sort of technological presence. These members monitor electronic security among the cult's areas of influence, and they detect and trace cybersecurity threats, so that they may send the Ivory Claws to dispatch would-be aggressors. Now, that's the fluff of it. Mechanically, these branches all constitute as features for the faction of Ignis's Cult of the Devouring Flame. For those of you who have access to your PDFs, I would direct you to page 134. I don't know why this page doesn't have a number on it. Oh no, it's on the left instead of the right. Interesting. They pulled a flopsy doodle on me.
No, That's because in the book, that's the left side. It's the left page.
Oh, does it alternate?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
you're
numbers
so
move
right,
out.
actually. Oh, wow. I
That-
can't believe
that
just
is-
now.
That is how books work, ain't it?
Nope, not always. Generally, they're on the outer corners, but sometimes they put it on the left side of both pages, so the number ends up in the inner corner, and I don't know why.
You said 138, right?
4.
134.
Okay,
Factions,
I-
nations, and organizations.
You can't make me.
You're right, I can't. It's just a suggestion.
I'm gonna stay on page 131.
Okay. But to basically walk through the process of, so let's say I want to add the feature of the Azure Wings to my cult. I will go over to my notes where I've already pre-written out these features because wording is
I need to
particular.
read this. Oh no, I don't need to do that.
So in order to enact a change, either the cult, which you can't because it doesn't have a dominion at the moment, or Godbound, so in this case Ignis, spends the requisite amount based on the probability and scale of the change being enacted. We all have power 1 scale factions, which means we use 1 for our scale because our cults aren't very big. That makes sense, everyone?
Yep.
So notably, as your cult gains power, it becomes harder and harder to add features and remove problems from it because it is a bigger mass of people that you're trying to organize. And because I am going with an improbable task that has the modifier of ×2, so this change will cost 2 dominion.
Beep.
And then for the month, I will just add that as a feature. Make sure this copy pasted correctly. And this would come into play for conflicts or when extending interest. So for instance, if I wanted to extend interest to someone else's cult, the Azure Wings could do that on my behalf as diplomats.
Right.
So we have.
There is a downside to doing this, however, in that every time you forcibly add a feature to your cult, or any faction actually, you cause problems to arise. However, in shorthand, Ignis will be buying this off by spending an additional dominion for each chain. So in total, adding this feature cost me 3 dominion.
Okay.
Okay. What the?
Is there anything else going to be happening at this point in time?
That is what I am doing for 3 times in a row, essentially.
Okay, 3 times in a row you are going to be making new parts to your cult.
Yep.
And one of the situations you had is a gang attack one of your wings, and then they ended up getting destroyed.
That's fluff for the most part, but essentially that is what Ignis is doing during downtime. If we are ready to move on to what factions themselves can do, we can start resolving those. But I don't know if everyone is done describing what their Godbound in particular are doing.
No, we will go on to the next person. Raiden, what are you doing for your downtime?
Well, other than helping Cormac with his thing, Ryan's going to go back into Opus
Okay.
to go get his parents.
Really? You're gonna
Yeah.
go get your parents. Well, you know that your parents were taken just before the attack. About the
And I
same
know
time that Liz was
Roughly
attacked.
by 2, because I
Uh-huh.
had talked to my family beforehand. I'm like, yep, nope.
Yeah, they are being activated. to do their jobs for the city. So, how are you going to go about this, trying to get your parents back when they are doing their job for the city?
I mean, I could. Well, I can't really exactly walk straight up into the T'Pol's temple thing.
That is true.
Good.
You could try.
Advisable, but you
Stopping
could.
you.
I mean, technically, effectively, I could. I could just kind of sneak in too.
Again, advisable, but you could.
Excuse you, I could. You act like I'm not going to be able to find a way to turn invisible.
Don't you literally have a power that allows you to hear and speak to at any point that you can see?
As long, well, no, not as long as it's not cut off by air, effectively, or the outside wind. Effectively, I can do it, but it's not where I can see, and it's only like a mile away.
You can fly and have arrows. Windows are not a problem.
True. And even then, I don't actually have to fly. All I need to do is just see a window pop.
Well, this could escalate really quickly.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to at least play the smart way.
All right, let's try.
Because now I got to think of how I'm gonna actually get into the temple. Because I can either try to sneak in, because I do have the mist still.
Yeah.
Or I gotta figure. You know what? Hold on. We have government connections. So, Ryan's gonna call up SOB and like, hey, I want a audience with the T'Pol.
You literally could have asked Ignis.
Yeah, you actually could have asked Ignis.
I didn't think about that either. I mean, if it's just gonna be easier with Ignis, I'll just do
Also,
that.
SOB was coming out of the dome with us.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if it's just gonna be easier with Ignis, I'll just have like say, hey, if you can, need an audience with T'Pol.
I mean, I have her phone number. I will call her and try to set up for. I'll do it right in front of them, actually.
All right, you two talk, and he basically is asking for you to make a call.
So, well, like I said, I'll do it in front of, I'll dial the phone that I gave to Paul/Opus, and we can start the conversation there if you'd like.
Yeah, that would work.
So to transition to that, Ignis will ask on the phone, am I speaking to Opus or the Paul?
Well, we're gonna make a roll for that.
Ryan's just thinking to himself, I don't really care if it's the T'Pol or the stupid jellyfish. I don't really care as long as I get my parents back.
Okay, it is the T'Pol. You
Okay,
are
dialing.
speaking with the T'Pol.
Okay. Raiden, one of the other Ascended would like an audience with you.
Is it about anything in particular?
I'll look over to Raiden. What business you have with the Paul? She wants to know.
My parents, I want them out to where at least I know they're going to be safe.
She wants to negotiate for the release of his parents.
They're working for the city to try to keep the Thane, to figure out what's going on with the Thanes, and to attempt to make sure that the Thane issue does not become any worse.
I suspect that answer will not be good enough for him. I would come up with another excuse.
Really? The fact that the city is
The only way, like,
in trouble.
that it is somewhat a good excuse, but it's a case of can you guarantee their safety?
Well,
No.
the funny thing is, like, you don't hear the DePaul side of the conversation.
Fair.
So the keeping in touch is like, you should probably try again. In any case, well, regardless, I'm not here to argue on behalf of Raiden. But he would like to meet with you in the near future, and you two can sort that amongst yourselves.
I will have him, and she gives a time. Be here by noon.
All right, I'll pass the information over to Raiden. Best of luck with your meeting.
Make sure you leave
Thank you.
your weapons at home.
It's hard to do that when I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a weapon.
They say describing the walking weapon.
Ignis kind of like raises an eyebrow at that comment. It's like,
It's like, wait, just make sure you leave your weapons at home. I'm like, wait, I am a walking weapon.
Can't leave my weapons at home. I am the weapon.
it's like, Ignis will like, not even really respond to like, or like informing Rain's like, you realize how unreasonable that sounds, correct? The weapon is our existence.
No. True enough.
And I mean, come on, they've had to have seen Raiden at least shoot
He
arrows,
is coming at with
like effectively light arrows from his hands.
He is
Oh,
coming with the
peace.
intent of peace.
Yeah.
yeah. I will.
Whether or not it stays that way, I cannot speak to its intentions. But that is the intent.
You are to be here at noon, and to be here coming in peace. Or you'll be coming in pieces.
Again, we can dispense with threats. Alright, Ignis will ping up. Alright, so he wants you at the tower by noon.
That works for me.
Some warnings before you go, though. I don't know how in-depth you are about what the situation with the DePaul/Opus, but the two of them are in a psychic war of sorts. Do not be surprised.
Yeah, this may not work out well for my favor then, because the jellyfish don't like me, and I don't like the jellyfish.
Well, it's a situation of don't look at long-term deals. Any deal you make with the DePaul is likely to not be honored by Opus, and vice versa. So, I
It's
would.
just, at that point, right into the back of his head, don't make me get the salt.
I'm not saying you shouldn't resort to violence either. I'm just saying,
No,
if
it's
you care
just-
about your parents' safety, make sure they're entrusted into your care. After all, they are your people.
That's partially the point. If I can get them out, then I can get them out. But if they can't guarantee their safety, then it is another story.
Opus will probably be the tougher of the two to deal with if, for whatever reason, the active psyche changes on your way there. If she does give you a hard time, remind her that Ignis negotiated for each of us to be able to foster and grow our own cults as we see fit. And for all
That
intents and
is
purposes, your mother and father are part of your cult.
I mean, they are mixed sons, so yeah.
But with that, I bid you farewell and good luck.
Thank you. And with that, Raiden's gonna be headed in that direction.
Alright. You are appropriately met by the paladins of her cult. They are ashes. If you remember, ashes are basically a race. Their bodies look
Don't they
gray.
look like, I was gonna say, don't they look like dragon people?
Yeah,
Or is it?
No, that's dragoons.
that's dragoons. We're talking
Ash-
about ashes. They're
Ashes and flames are like
Flames.
serpentine creatures,
Oh.
like kind of like nagas.
yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
And you're met by them. They basically demand you to relinquish any weapons at the door.
I mean, Raiden just holds up his arms. He doesn't have any weapons.
Okay.
I mean, unless you count Widow as a weapon.
He goes and sits in the box himself. Sadly, I am a weapon.
I mean, unless you count Widow as a weapon, which I really don't, personally.
Can it be made into a weapon?
No.
I mean, anything can be made into a weapon if you try hard enough.
I mean,
Magic
Widow
Rush.
could, but it's just Widow. Widow's Widow.
I thought,
What will happen is that you will basically be pat down and then allowed to go through. When you get into the center of the T'Pol's area, it is basically a temple. She's in the center. And do you remember her looks? Or should I show you another
Yeah, I
picture?
remember the looks.
Okay. Her bony-like wings are there. She is always seems to be laying down in this like water. And you see her look up at you. What do you do? Do you properly give the right?
I will at least be formal with it and civil.
So you will formally give her courtesy.
Yes. I mean, I'm not gonna just like ask for a meeting, get the meeting, and just be a dick.
Okay. You've been brought here, or you are here. It is noon. How may I be of service?
Well, one, my parents.
Your parents and everybody else was called to active duty.
I understand that. You can't guarantee their safety, though, can you?
No. I can't guarantee anyone's safety right now.
Okay. My parents and my care, I can at least provide them with at least more of a chance of safety than they are here. If possible, I would like to at least take my parents out.
You want to take your parents out, but how do we keep... You do realize your father and mother are on active duty.
Yes, but I don't believe missing two people, especially one since she's just a medic, and
Medics
the other
are
being...
important right now.
I understand that.
We are in an emergency, especially now that we know the things are here. Or coming.
But what is... How exactly would I like to say this? What exactly would the point of it being here now justify the effects if the things are coming and they're not here?
If they could come up with some ideas of how we could possibly fight them.
That's actually what we're currently doing.
How are you
One of the
doing
other
so?
Ascended... One of the other Ascended is actually currently working on a biological weapon for them.
This is what we are doing. As a city as a whole. Working on very things like trying to figure out how to deal with this threat that's coming our way.
And as are we. Each of our cults are doing the same. Well, at least I can't say for everyone, but at least I know my cult and one of the other Ascendeds are.
cut to Cormac shadow boxing with a mountain.
Or, right. Wasn't he just deciding he wanted to leave altogether the city?
Cormac did, yes. And personally, given
How is
the
that
experiences,
how is any of this going to help the city from fighting the
because
things?
you aren't the only ones in danger of it.
No, the whole entire world is.
The entire planet is, yeah. So, do you honestly, do you not believe that we won't help defend the planet as well? The entire planet will be in danger of things.
Yeah. and every place in the solar system will.
You worry about the city itself, and I do understand that. I mean, I did live here once at one point. But it's missing, I don't believe missing 2 people, especially 2 mixisms, is going to change much on that. What if another blood moon comes? I can find a way to at least help repress the instincts of the mixisms. I can outright ignore it.
I'll accept your situation and allow you to take your parents with you. But we do need help.
And
We
that's
have-
what we're currently working on.
To do what we can to try to keep the things from getting an upper hand.
And that's what we're actually all at least I know a few of us are currently working on. I can't say for the rest, but I know that's what I myself am working on. I'm working on defenses. I'm working on ways to arm people. And other things I have in mind. But I know one of the other Ascended are working on a biological weapon against the Thanes.
Ironically, it's the one that keeps getting too deep.
Very well. Keep us apprised at what you are doing.
Thank you. And with that, Raiden, before I do go, do you know exactly where they might be at right now?
They're downstairs.
And with that, if Raiden is done, or unless the DePaul or Opus want to talk to him or anything else, he's gonna head out. He's gonna head back down.
Okay.
Because I thought at one point you said that. Oh, maybe it was a long time ago.
It was a
Not a-
while
not a
ago.
There is something up with the T'Pol. Literally, Shiv is kind of keeping her stable.
Yeah.
That's something else we forgot to mention.
That was your influence. Yeah, you're keeping her stable at the moment for influence. I think you used, what, 2 influence on that at the time?
I think it was one of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am honestly being glad that I only made my cult smart looking at all this stuff.
Right.
Because I've been reading while you guys have been.
Well, when you go downstairs, you see what is called the think tank, and your parents are both in there.
Well,
The think tank, I assume this part is
Think
notably
tank,
mostly
Jesus
empty.
Christ. That makes me think it's some kind of prison
No.
I mean,
or
No.
holding
basically,
cell.
the entire city's a prison if you really want to get down to
No,
the nitty
I'm
gritty.
thinking like a holding cell, like what they use in jails.
No. Think tank is more along the lines. Have you ever heard of,
Hold on, D.
yeah, R&D?
Research development. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because basically they're at the point of, we've tried everything, and we're running out of ideas.
And we've lost the one who could possibly stop the things. So, yeah,
And that would have been.
Willis and Liz.
Well, I'm gonna find a way to mutate them. Especially once I can get the word actually for it. Start
Right.
mutating them left and right.
Must you render my bioweapon useless?
No, my good sir, you can still use your bioweapon. I'm just gonna mutate him. Have the Thanes fight the Thanes.
We're already fighting each other!
What the Jarls were used for.
Well, no, I'm gonna actually have the Thanes fight the Thanes.
Not only that, we have already basically confirmed that the Thanes themselves are fighting a civil war alongside their own little galaxy conquest.
Yes.
It's fine.
But, like, ironically, the universe is stuck in the crossfire of a civil war of a race that was literally generated to kill one person.
Okay, so with that, Raiden is gonna kind of like look in and then knock on the door, let him know that he's here.
When you go into the think tank, you do see quite a few different people there. Many of the minds of all sorts. Your mother was going to be working on heading all the medical, and they were talking about that. Your father was talking about how they could possibly use... I mean, you're listening in on a conversation about what they're going to try to do against things. And they look over you and say, "Son, why are you here?"
Getting you guys out of here so I can at least guarantee your safety.
But what about the others?
Well, considering that they're not the only ones on risk. Let's just... Because, you guys remember what I can do, right? Also,
Yes.
Ryan, just kind of look at one of the blueprints for one of the weapons that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it'd probably be better if you did it this way, too, by the way.
And you just show them how to do it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give you that intelligence check. It's probably not going to matter.
Could I argue a bonus because of the...
Yes, you can argue a bonus.
One of the facts I have.
You can definitely argue a bonus.
Okay, let's see here. I don't remember if I do a +1 or +2.
For what?
For a bonus.
Wait, are you getting a bonus?
Yeah, via one of the facts I've got.
It's 4.
Oh,
Always 4.
I think I did this right.
Yeah, you are successful in giving them a better idea of how to make that weapon. Rather quickly. I said, why are you not part of the think tank?
Because I do my own thing, personally.
That's why we're all here.
That, and he's gonna kind of, at that point, he's just gonna kind of say it's time to wake up, and then Widow just crawls on top of his head.
Soon after that happens, well, why don't you help us out and the city out?
Well, I mean, effectively I am without being inside the city. That, and let's just say I can at least give you a little bit more comfortable living space than you guys are now.
You can beat the barracks any day, then sure, we'll go with you. Where are we
And
going?
at least this way I can kind of guarantee
there's only
more of your
Opus.
safety. Oh, trust me, there's just not Opus. You guys got radiation suits?
They don't need them anymore.
Oh,
They're part of
yeah.
your
That's literally
cult.
the thing we just did.
Oh yeah, shit.
They are part of your cult.
Oh yeah, well, I guess they would need them on like the edge of the tunnel, but that's about it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true. Because
Yeah,
even
The
we
30
need
mile,
those.
the 30-mile radius of radiation.
the 30-mile radius. Well, we have to.
I thought it was
Yes.
5.
It's 30. It's always been 30. We can get some.
I mean, if you guys can, I can get you all easy.
What about your sisters and brother?
Last I knew, they're actually already out there.
You already sent them out there?
Yeah, I think the only people who went out with the initial crew were the Mixisms, all the librarians, which Shiv sent to Neppy
That and
for the culture shock.
let's just say I've got kind of a not really say per se a small small following of people that actually kind of faction cult. Nah, don't use that term. Following.
They go ahead and go with you. Confused, but happy that their children are okay.
And with that, then Raiden is going to take them out to the volcano.
Alright. You head out to the volcano. It is Riley's turn, if Riley is still here.
And I gotta read up on the factions turn stuff. Still.
Yeah, well, do you have any faction turns that you want to do?
I have no idea what I can do.
Well, one of the things that you just said, or what was done with Ignis, was Ignis prepared creating new groups within his faction on what they can do and their abilities to do. Which takes Dominion to do so. Your factions themselves can make their own marks. So, for instance, if you want to have your builders or whatever you're calling them, what are you wanting the Mixisims to do?
Well, I mean, right now they're gonna help. They're gonna start building the train.
Okay, so they're building a train.
Well, also like, wait, so more or less half of them building train, half of them self build the housing. So kind of splitting it down the middle.
Alright, so effectively 4 Dominion will be used. Do you have enough Dominion to do so?
I very well should.
Remember, you just spent 4 on keeping people from dying out here.
Oh yeah, shit.
You might have to wait a couple months, but you'll get it.
Yeah, I'll have to wait.
Your faction turn stuff that is taking place over 5 months.
Yes.
That's not all in a oneer.
Okay, yeah. Then it's definitely helping build that, and over the time spending that Dominion for it.
Like, this is something that gets kind of glossed over. You could start a Dominion project, but you don't have to finish it until you commit all the Dominion to it.
Okay, yeah, so I'll start the Dominion project.
This is one of those things that makes you glad that Shiv only made his people smarter.
Oh no, they got so smart that their bodies withered. They can't fight. Oh no.
I'm just picturing the dude with his chair is literally his brain.
Now, is there
Well,
any
notice-
ability?
A little buddy.
Is there any ability you want to give your faction? That
Can I effectively give them like a Godbound ability?
well, you just said you both decided you were going to give them the ability to be able to withstand the temperatures that are out there.
You know, if memory serves, I'm sure you spoke before about effectively giving them like a partial of your building ability.
Yeah, one where it's like the shit. I gotta look it up because I don't actually have that gift, but I have access to the gift.
It was similar to Shiv's thing about his group being smarter because they're part of that group. Completely.
Yeah,
ignoring
where it's
that
like they can
intelligence and
build
street smarts
faster.
are 2 different things. Yeah, it was like as long as they have the materials, they all have the innate ability to do all kinds of engineering.
Yeah,
They can't magic it out of nothing like you can, but if they have the materials, they can certainly swing a hammer.
yeah. I can't magic up materials, but I can magic up items.
So basically,
Well-
you're giving them the ability to build properly.
Effectively, if I have access, if I can effectively do it, if you want to go based off the actual lesser gift for it, it's brilliant. No. Scientific method?
Scientific
Yeah,
method.
scientific
So
method.
they can use the scientific method, and that is their ability.
Because they're Godbound. I don't know if the cult can, but the Godbounds are capable of building ordinary tech or structures smaller than a house within a scene, smaller than a factory within a day, and smaller than a town during a downtime between
Alright.
sessions.
Alright, so that's your special ability for your faction. Your faction now, that's another dominion. But now your faction has been created, they can do all this, and you're wanting them to work on the train. A problem happens.
Town and train.
The train and the housing. They do come up with several problems with this that you'll have to handle in faction turns.
I plan on talking to someone else too to help for the train too.
One of your problems that happens with the faction is that there are so many ideas for how to make this train, but nobody can come up with which one they should use.
So Raiden will actually go based off of it and then pick and choose certain aspects, because it's a case of one might have a better aspect for a part, and one might not.
This is true.
So that's what Raiden will do. He'll just kind of cobble the ideas together.
Another problem that will happen with the housing is that the lack of water, the water will have to be changed or mutated or whatever to make it more purified.
Which means that's something I probably can willing to bet me and McCormack will both do.
Okay. So those are your faction turns. Is there anything else you want to do?
I mean, other than talking with the builder on helping with the train, that's kind of about it that I can think of.
Are you wanting to make this train go from city to city, or just to where you live?
When he says
Effectively-
train, he doesn't mean on rails.
Yeah.
No, he means a hover train.
So effectively, I can take it anywhere.
Okay, but still, there may be, when you go to different cities, you're still going to need somebody to be there to accept them there. Like when we have airports, we have certain people watching the air to
Get your Walmart greeter.
Yeah, to greet and make sure that everything is safe. Basically,
Oh yeah, it was influence.
this is your influence, or this could be your dominion, to set up with other factions.
Then I can guess I'll do if that whatever Ignis did partially.
They'll make a depot basically for your train to go, to stop at different cities. Is basically what I'm saying. A depot.
So a
Really,
station.
you don't have to make two.
You really don't have to make 2 cities. You can make 1 city.
No, what
Yeah.
I'm saying is he would only have to make 2. There are only currently 2 locations. Because let's face it, he ain't going in no silly cave either.
Nah, I ain't going in the cave.
He also ain't going into the mushroom forest that Kira's people have decided to call home.
Yeah, no, let's just no.
I mean, you're also, to be fair, unless you're setting up a trade deal with Neppy, I don't think you're gonna be getting the trade inside Opus. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like, fuck you.
That's why
Pretty
I'd
much.
have it be like in that little tunnel area.
Uh-huh.
The whole idea would be using that tunnel entrance
To get
as a way to
in.
get in and out.
Okay.
Not actually go in, but in and out.
You're going underneath Opus, but you will not be going. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it wouldn't be going in, it'd be going in and out through the tunnel. Like, people would get off, come back on, in and out like that.
Yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
the dwarves are gonna have a lot to say about that, as well as the
No.
elves.
No, Cormac's gonna have an issue with this potentially,
Ooh,
because
shit.
that is a very big object. That is a very noticeable object.
Fair.
If that tunnel gets found out, we can't use it anymore because they'll just close it.
Yeah.
That is fair. So then it's Raiden goes talk to dwarves.
You gotta go to actually the dwarves' village. Okay. You head to the dwarves' village. You see what looks like basically clockwork type style of life where everything is like either metallic or has some type of gear. You know what I'm talking about.
Just putting Raiden in a instant dreamland effectively. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, not cyberpunk. I mean more like steampunk kind of style.
Exactly, like you're putting Raiden into a point where he likes the idea of it. Just ooh, shiny.
And the dwarves will be a little bit surprised that you're even there. Because there's not many people who come down there. Now, there will be a dwarf that you actually have met before. I believe his name is Hagris.
Wasn't he like the effectively right hand for Mitchell?
Yes, Haggis was sort of, yeah.
So he's going to go talk to Haggis.
Okay. And you go talk to Haggis. Let me see if I can try to do this. How the hell do I make a Scottish accent?
Nav, be
Hold on.
prepared to be offended.
Come on, Carsa. Do a Scottish accent, Carsa.
I can't wait.
do it.
Oh no.
Nav, I have the HR forms for you, ready to go.
You got the front row seat to this.
Nav, do you have the clip button ready?
crash.
Hey,
I'm
get into the
dying.
board.
I'm gonna.
Oh no.
Come on, hit me with your best shot.
Bye,
God
old
damn it, I
way.
get the song stuck in my head.
10d 1,000 psychic damage coming right up.
What you doing here? No, this is not gonna work.
The dwarves are Jamaican now. Let's go.
Start
Yeah,
with
yeah,
yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, my goodness.
What's
This
going
one,
on?
What you doing
Alright.
here, man? The
Hello,
radiation.
hello, laddie. What you doing here?
Hold on.
Close enough.
Stop.
I am horrible. I can't figure out how to do this. Oh my god.
You can't
You're-
figure out the
you're-
Scottish accent.
Right,
Oh,
to
I
be
can't
fair-
figure out the Scottish accent. There we go.
To be fair, your first mistake is by using several words because the Scotsman would look at him and just be like, what?
Okay, what?
Honestly, so would most dwarfs.
Well, let's just say, you remember that tunnel that we were gonna build? That I was helping y'all build too?
Yeah.
Is there any way I could also use it to get stuff from inside the city and outside of the city with something?
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Why?
Then Raiden's gonna go on explaining the whole train idea.
They're dwarves. They have mine carts.
Those are just trains without a top.
Exactly, but
They're not loud.
They are when there's dwarves on them.
I'm immediately picturing this as it comes up with it several hours later, and then it cuts to like a confused dwarf looking at him going, you mean to say that you literally just spent 2 hours explaining what a train is to a fucking dwarf?
No,
Oh,
no, it's like 2 hours later. Why has it got a roof on it?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, this is...
He's sitting there tapping himself on the side of the head with the pickaxe going,
What do you
I'm
need a
still
roof
alive.
for?
Well, considering I know it's part of your territory, I actually would have to probably I wanted to get permission instead of just barging it in. And it's also less noticeable than going through another entrance into Opus. And also less radiation risk.
And what I'm trying to, I'm getting at, so, you want our help to get stuff in here. What about our privacy and freedom?
You'd still have it, it's just, bear in mind it's just an easier way to get stuff in and out. You don't have to really help with that, per se, it's just... Considering I know all of you are craftsmen, and it happens to be my followers are also craftsmen as well, I imagine they could also learn a lot from you guys, and I can also offer, well, at least once we get the one that is meant for mining and fabrication up, I imagine we can also get, at least do some trade deals. Perhaps with metal, because I know, but let's just be honest, it's, there's only so far you can go with down here, especially with metal.
I'll have to talk to the council about this. Since Mitchell Graves is no longer here, we finally have our freedom to do what we want.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'd be more wanting, yeah.
What we don't want is a bunch of humans in our home.
Well, they're more mixes in, but I also understand that. But it's more or less what instead of actually having it inside your home, what I would be asking is access to a surface path inside of Opus, and a chamber to use as like a storage. Like a depot storage.
And we would get trade out of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we trade.
Yeah,
I would have no issue helping.
the biggest flaw here is that the dwarves want their freedom, they want their privacy, they don't want to be noticed. Because the moment they become noticed, they become a target. That's how they ended up in Mitchell Graves' thrall in the first place.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, were they
Good.
actually under his, like, actual control, or was it simply, you know, he showed up and being like, I know what you think about when you do the dirty things. Therefore, you're going to do what I tell you to, or I'm going to tell everyone.
Or massacre them.
Well,
No,
nobody
I
actually ever
replied.
asked the dwarves why they were there, or why they were helping him.
I mean, I'm just pointing this out for your benefit, because it's whatever your decision is on how they were following him would affect if they actually care about potential targeting. Like, I mean, also with like a trade thing, yeah, Opus would already know that they're there.
Oh yeah, they know.
So I mean, if Opus wanted to like technical the ground and murder all the dwarves, Opus could have started doing that like decades ago, hell, centuries ago potentially.
Yes.
And yeah, it hasn't.
No, because it doesn't need to. There's still some type of trading going on with the dwarves, but
There's still some benefit to keeping them alive.
yeah, and a benefit to keep them alive.
But, like, they themselves are not a problem to Opus. They live deeper underground than Opus cares to deal with at the moment. The biggest issue is if they start becoming a problem and start trying to go back to the surface.
Yes.
Hence why do the depot idea where can you store stuff underground. And at least they get stuff, I get stuff.
Everybody
I
happy.
could potentially learn more of the steampunk stuff because I do like my, admittedly out of character, I do like my steampunk.
Okay, so Haggis is gonna look at you and say, "We'll talk to the council first."
Very well.
After going
I'm
through
going to correct you there. It's Council.
council first.
I thought it was Council.
Council first. And then we will discuss this 3 months' time.
Very well.
It's a
And,
shame
I
you
mean-
can't type fast enough because I would totally read out dialogue.
Right.
I will. You know what? Yes, you should have done it.
No, you are on dwarf duty now. Thanks for volunteering.
Welcome in. Because I sure hell am not gonna do it right. So Haggis gives you 3 months
Alright.
before they will actually discuss what. I mean, you give them 3 months, they give you 3 months. You're gonna work on the other things besides the trade. They'll
Oh
discuss
yeah, no,
it
I'm gonna
in
try
3
to get
months'
the
time.
builder to help with the train.
Yeah, and it'll be
Ow.
3 months' time for that. So, yeah. All right. Who haven't? Wait. Oh, Riley. What are you doing?
I probably have the absolute easiest one, which is I
PMC,
I
get a
do
PMC.
PMC things.
The PMC, get a PMC.
Well, PNC, there was a couple things that we were going to do last time. If I remember, you wanted to get.
Oh, actually, hold on. I have to give Shiv a verbal bitch slap upside the bald head. Because thanks for completely ignoring the fact that a massive part of that entire conflict was actually Ignis's troops, because he does have a fuckload, and mine. And you didn't do that much medication of people, but my medics did.
Yeah, Shiv just called in SOB as backup.
Who sat there probably eating chicken because he's
No,
that guy.
sitting there with bonbons with his anti-material rifle at the
Well, he
ready.
does look like Colonel Sanders, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He showed up. Of course, like, why'd you call this guy? Huh? Oh, you stay in the back. We don't need your fucking help.
He did have them helping with extraction and keeping people alive.
Yes, thanks for completely sidestepping the two people with militarized factions.
You guys were already coming. Shiv wasn't bringing the librarians because they're librarians, not warriors.
What are you gonna do? Read books at them? Anyway,
I mean, if they're mages, then that would do something.
Yeah, but I wasn't allowed to say the word of magic, sorry.
So yeah, PMC gonna PMC.
All right.
All up in this conflict.
Okay, so you're going to do pretty much what you were doing was.
Essentially, because if memory serves, I'm pretty sure I am the only PC. Well, one of potentially two. The other one being,
Ignis.
no, Bosch's character.
Oh, Kira.
Kira, that's the word I couldn't remember.
Kira, we can't remember the name of.
She was originally called Mira, and then people started calling her Kira. Or it was the other way around, I can't remember. Doesn't really matter. Point is, my character and possibly that character, I'm pretty sure they are the only ones who, unless Makira has been informed about that whole thing with Opus, actually what, his whole, like, fly off into space stupid bullshit. Because I know for a fact, my character hasn't been informed of any of that.
No, you haven't.
Other than people leaving.
None of you have. Well,
No, I'm meaning in terms of the whole
Riley
thing,
and
like-
Mira have not. However,
really
Raiden,
swear by
Shiv,
proxy that something, quote unquote, something might happen, possibly at some time in roughly 6 months.
Well,
Because I think your biggest point of contact was Cormac, who doesn't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. And of course, that whole thing where, because I haven't been given a valid in-character reason to, I've never switched off We Are Legion. Therefore, Opus can't mind blah blah. The Robo Elf.
yeah, you have not turned it off. However, you
There are
are.
other ways that as a DM you can abuse.
However, you are
Messenger
actually your PNC and everybody is brought into active duty due to the fact that the things have been spotted in the area.
I mean, to which the character literally responds, "What Thanes? We killed them all."
No, you didn't.
I'm pretty sure we've got Magic 8 Ball who knows there are no Thanes on this planet.
On this planet, but in the area. We're talking about the solar system.
Yeah, they're
No,
waiting.
you never said on the solar system, you said in the area.
That is the area. The solar system.
They're in the neighborhood.
So you would be called into active duty, and the PNC would also be given alert per se.
Well, here's a very
Will you
valuable
accept to
question.
go into active duty? Or are you going to protest?
Well, I mean, here's the valid question. Because PMCs are PMCs.
Mhm.
PMCs are not national militaries.
No. But everybody,
What is
all
Opus offering?
militaries, all right now they're offering your heads, your head people that are in your group, a little bit of a city stipend, better food, better rent, giving you a place to stay.
And that is a real shame because I was really looking forward to this is Spartaing the Tapala Alpha Tower.
Or you can come live at the volcano and get all that shit for free.
I mean, the whole thing is that offer's already been made and generally speaking accepted.
Anyway,
You just haven't left yet.
you haven't left, but the fact is, though, because they have been found in the solar system, the PNC are being, well, you're being asked to do a contract with the government, along with Ignis, of course, is been asked. So are you, and anyone. They're trying to figure out a way to stop this situation that is happening in the near future. And they're asking for
Who
your
would
help.
Riley be asking? Would it be some underlings or would Riley actually be getting called in, like, to go to the tower and all that?
Riley would be actually asked to go to the tower, to go to the think tank, and talk to one of the, well, Ignis would also be asked to, both to head there in the near future. Probably within probably the third month is when they'd start asking this. Third, fourth month.
Yeah, because I mean, in the downtime, like, you know, for all joke about it, yeah, like the general thing is basically without an actual specific big bad, is like the company literally just returns to, well, contracting around the city.
I mean, you still get a lot of contracts. People are still wanting to have certain things done.
Yeah.
Corporations are in a stalemate, etc., etc.
Of course, the like in regards to the other PCs with what they're doing, like, you know, say for instance, like riding with the train idea, with the dwarves. Like, if security is required, you know somebody that runs a PMC that specializes in security.
This is true.
So, you know, there's all that stuff.
I mean, they're great builders, but they're not great fighters.
Yes.
So, yes, this is true.
In memory serves, I think I actually offered that to Raiden in character, that if he wants security for that area while he's getting stuff set up.
Now,
But, yeah.
there is a group, or a person, there is the builder actually comes to you at one time. Did you ever meet the builder?
Briefly.
And the builder is going to meet you at your office.
Oh yeah, we should meet with her.
The Empress would like to extend to you a contract.
Okay.
This is not the T'Pol. This is the Empress that wishes to extend to you a contract. The contract would be, since you are very good at doing all the agency type work around here, the Empress would like to give you a ship in response that you help protect, and if when called upon, help the Empire protect from the Thanes and any other threats. Particularly, we are looking for someone to invest in protection around Scorpio 3. And we feel like you would make the best protection. I don't trust the T'Pol's people. And
Good choice.
Interesting.
the Empress does not trust them either. There is a situation that we are dealing with right now. The Thanes have been spotted in the solar system. We're not sure what they're looking for. But if you are willing to do this contract, you would basically be helping as a steward against any and security for the Empire for this area.
So you're offering
your own ship.
You're offering a ship for orbital defense purposes of Scorpio 3 and the entire system.
Yes. The solar system.
Right, because I was going to ask why you were offering, like, asking for planetary defense from a ground-based PMC.
Well,
Well, that makes sense.
because we're asking for security to protect this area. And you are better at this than some of the others that we've seen.
Well, I mean, if your previous security was FN, then...
No longer.
Oh, definitely.
And...
No longer, but definitely shorter.
I mean, accurate.
Wow. The Empress would like to find a new representation. And does not does not trust the T'Pol's people.
Well, based on what I've heard, I'm not surprised. Considering how things have gone previously.
Besides, I believe you and your friends will need a ship eventually to go elsewhere. If you ever wanted to leave the area.
I mean, that would depend on them.
True. But would you be able to do, would you be willing to do orbitable, orbital defense for us?
I would have to see the ship first before being able to give you a solid answer. I mean, I certainly have people.
The ship
I mean,
is on its way.
Well, the general problem with most of that is we don't exactly have. You know, you may have noticed the rest of Scorpio 3 is kind of mostly not settled.
Yes.
It's not inhospitable, but it would take a while to set up way stations and the like.
Yes, we do realize this. And it will take probably a good amount of, like, and out of character. Probably about 4 months at least. Just to get the station, the boarding station up.
Yeah.
Even with using the builder for this.
Yeah.
They will show you the ship that you sent me as their prototype.
Yes. Which is me being renamed the Hammer.
Yes. You're the one who gets to name it, so you call it the Hammer, therefore it's the Hammer.
It's because it's got a hammer head.
Okay,
In a world
Captain
full of
Roland.
hammers, everything looks like a nail.
Your new name is now Roland.
I mean, I just personally find it kind of amusing where, you know, that's the hammer, I'm the scalpel.
No, you're Roland. We've talked about this.
So, that's what the builder would ask for you. Over.
Yeah, it should go over the prototype plans and that, and like, yeah, I mean, we can definitely make it work. So, is this leased, or you know, is this being leased under contract terms, or what?
Well, if you want to buy your ship, it's going to take you forever.
No, I mean that's what she's asking. Is this a lease during contract use, or is this is yours?
This will be yours, provided that you work when the Empire asks for you to join them in a situation that you help with that.
Usually I would be arching an eyebrow at that kind of request because those can often be, shall we say, very costly. But let's be fair, the war is not going to bypass Scorpio 3. It's not going to bypass us here.
No, it is not. We need you to help us with security. And occasionally the Empress may ask you for a mission. You still will get paid for the mission. It will just be that you are asked to do it, and you will do it. That is the stipulation of it. You get the shift to help out.
I mean, it sounds like a weighted but relatively beneficial deal.
It is slightly weighted. We know this.
That's always going to be weighted. That's just business.
I mean, why would we give you something for free if we don't get something in return?
Exactly. You are aware, at least I hope you are aware, that very soon, if not already technically, Opus is not the only settlement on Scorpio 3 now.
Considering I'm helping with Neppy, I realize this.
Well,
I'm helping build Neppy.
Yeah. I'm meaning you. Like, as she say, this is in character. I'm meaning you, as in you and the others you're representing.
Yes, there's going to be many settlements.
The rest of them are aware of that happening.
The Empress is very aware.
Right. That I just wanted to make sure, because I will make a counterpoint. Do not ask me to move against him.
That was not going to
You're showing
happen.
me here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure in your case specifically, you would never do that.
I have no reason to.
But there are others who, those potentially above our positions may ask for certain things to be done. The fact is, as you are aware, any kind of strike on those kind of locations, it's civilians.
Right.
Not only is it incredibly bad publicity, but it's also a massive dick move. I can tell you at least 3 people that would be seriously pissed.
I guarantee you, unless we are attacked by one of them, we will not attack them.
Well, I hope for everyone's sake involved, less so for him, that the rest of the council and all that keep to that agreement.
We have no reason to attack
I'm not
them.
saying, because I'm not saying I don't think the rest of whatever we are, the rest of them, yes, they could definitely take down Cormac in a fight, but he's going to make you work for it.
We know this. We also know that there are a few of us ascended that may not have, that are not part of the council, that could cause trouble. But we already knew this was going to be the case. We're not out to, the council, the Empress, are not out to cause any problems with you. In fact, we are here to help you.
I'm just making my point clear.
Yes. We are clear that we do not want to attack any of you. We wish to help. That's why we were brought here. That's why the Empress has sent her part of her council to help you. To help build, to help get you out of there, to help let you know what is going on in the future. We have an understanding. If you are willing to understand that we do not want you to attack us, we will not attack you, period. In fact, we would like to help you in as much as we can. Is that understood?
Yes.
So if you are accepting of this position as the guardian for the solar system, we will give you the hammer and we will draw up the contract.
Yeah.
All right. PNC has now got the hammer after 4 months' time. Any faction turns you would like to do?
Oh hell, I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, that was a faction turn from the Empress.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. Do we want to start resolving the mechanics behind faction turns in that case?
I think that would be a great idea.
Alright,
Really good
so
plan.
I'm going to back up to month 1.
Okay.
So, if you look at your PDS, so there are some example actions. Every single faction turn, you get 1 internal action and 1 external action. Your internal actions are build strength, enact change, restore cohesion. None of us care about the third one right now. Your external actions are aid an ally, attack a rival, extend interest, or remove interest. The most relevant one here for now would be extend interest, because none of us have dominion in our factions to aid an ally. I guess someone might want another rival. I wouldn't recommend it, but you certainly could. So for my first month, my internal action, I'm going to attempt to build strength. So I'm going to attempt to build dominion with my cult, or with my faction rather.
Okay.
In order to do so, we scroll over here. So Ignis's cult has a current trouble of 4. Actually, no, for month 1, he only has 3 actually. So let me remove that real quick. Which means I'm going to roll my power die, which is a d6, and attempt to roll above a 3.
Right, is it above 3 or 3 or above?
Above 3. You have to roll greater than your trouble.
That's unfortunate.
Why?
Because you got a 3.
Yes. I'm expecting to fail most of these. It is a 50-50 shot for me, essentially. So because
I'm sorry, it was just amusing that I asked as you were rolling and the 3 came up.
So because I failed,
lucky.
Ignis's cult is not self-sufficient enough to gain strength on his own, because it requires too much of Ignis's oversight. Which makes sense, because he is very strict on his followers, and is not very nice. But that's besides the point. Next up, I have an external action. This has already been established in the past, but this is effectively making it quote-unquote official, in that Ignis's cult, the Cult of the Devouring Flame, is going to extend interest towards Riley's Site Secure, as we're forming an impromptu alliance of sorts. Now, there are a few ways to go about this. If Riley accepts, the attempt is automatically successful, and I would be able to, going forward, spend interest to aid or impede you. So only give interest to factions that you trust. Heads up. Or at least willingly. Would I be correct in assuming that Riley will accept this?
Yeah.
Alright. For the sake of going through the process, would you be fine if I were to try and do this assuming that you weren't okay with this?
Yeah.
Basically demonstrate the process.
Yep.
Alright. So, if I want to try and force interest upon you as a rival faction, I would probably attempt to go through my Crimson Scales, essentially trying to buy out contracts by bribing certain key members of your cult. I don't want to call it, because again, it's like some your PMC, basically bribing your officials and generally worming my way into contracts that you might not want to honor. At that point, if you wanted to defend, you would have to find an appropriate feature on your cult to counteract this bribery attempt / skullduggery. So, could you list off your cult's features real quick?
I only have one, in that we specialize in security.
All right.
Could argue for that one. The security would also argue internal security, which would be against bribery.
I would argue to be a tangential at best, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So we would enter into a contest roll. We both roll power die. Trouble does not interact with this roll at all. So we're both just rolling our acting die. Because your feature is only tangentially related, you will roll twice and take the worst result.
Oof.
So I would need my lowest to be above your 3.
Yes. Oh no, you're the defender, so ties go in your favor, actually. Also, I have accidentally... Can you talk again real quick for me?
Sorry, what?
Okay, thank you. I accidentally dodged the volume on the headset and deafened myself momentarily. But because you rolled a 4 on your check, you would have successfully defended against this attempt, and I would gain no interest. But because we're doing it willingly, I now gain 1 interest with your cult. And if you would like to reciprocate that on your faction turn, you can do the same, and Ignis will accept your interest.
But it makes sense, considering, you know, the whole thing with your corporation is a big arms dealer, my corporation literally uses those arms.
Yeah, and it's basically formless as like, our cults are working together pretty well with one another. We are well positioned to aid one another, and if we flip the switch, we both know a lot of we both have leverage over the other to interfere with them.
But what if I said my interest was 200% compounded daily?
So basically, you now have 1 turn that's been done. Now you have a second turn that has been done with Ignis.
That is all 1 turn. That is my internal and my external action for month 1 done. Month 2, I'd go through the same process, although I'd probably extend interest to a different faction, since I'm going to be spreading it out a little bit at the start. But that is the general gist of it. Because we are new cults that are low power and don't really want to be starting shit, most of these turns are going to be pretty anemic at the start.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So basically,
So like essentially with like kind of like the thing with Cormac and Raiden spending Dominion on like making that area livable is essentially one faction aiding the other.
No, because when you use aid faction, that's your faction spending their own Dominion.
Yeah, that's what I'm meaning. Like if it was if you guys were having your people help each other to make that area better rather than using your own powers, then it would be that.
Yes. What Raiden and Cormac did was more so it's like they changed the fact around that area. While their cults currently reside in that area, that fact is not intrinsically tied to either of their cults, because they could be, in theory, forced to relocate.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, as far as you go, Riley, you had a faction turn with the Empress, and that was resolved already. And then you have one with Ignis, which has also been resolved. So you still have 3 more faction turns.
If the other party initiated them, that's not Riley's faction turn.
Correct. 2 factions can build interest independent of one another. So like
True. Okay.
This-
So
like that could be themed as the government's attempt to extend interest with Riley's cult, and it is up to Riley whether or not she wants to accept.
she did. She did accept. So
It might be better to handle the faction turns month by month rather than expecting everybody to
yeah,
throw down all
let's go
five at
ahead.
once.
All right, let's do that. So we already got Ignis's month 1. All right. Who's gonna do a faction turn on month 1?
I think of something.
Could you actually create a turn order? Just like a turn tracker. We can just do it that way.
Can try. Not
I mean,
sure.
you just use our tokens. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be in a random order, so it's just put Ignis at 0 because he's already gone.
All right.
Because this was
Or wait, no, that's dumb. Put him at 5 and then just skip him.
because at the same time, NPC factions are also going to be taking their faction turns as well, which is something that you have to handle on your end, Carso.
Which you've already handled 2 or 1 of it at least.
Basically, two, because that's been one turn extending interest to Riley, and then another one extending interest to Ignis. Can't hit them both in the same month, essentially.
No, what I
Alright.
mean is like 1 has already been done.
Oh, fair.
All right.
If there's other
one-
factions that are going out and doing stuff.
Month 1 for Shiv.
Gotta think of something.
Well,
I mean-
your first one's easy. Build strength. Roll your
Yeah.
power die.
Almost all of our internal actions
Action
are
die,
gonna be
rather.
pretty much the same.
Build power. So,
This is-
which one's power die? D6, right?
Your action die. At the very top of it in attributes, once you open your faction sheet. I'm pretty sure everyone has a faction sheet on Roll20. I remember
I do,
sitting
yeah.
down-
Yes, we do.
I remember sitting down with Carson and doing those
Damn.
at some point multiple months ago. Maybe almost a year ago at this point, honestly.
Okay. Well, you're not.
It's the techno monks.
You're definitely not strong enough with your techno months.
Well, no, that actually depends. How much trouble does your cult have? Bottom right.
1 at the moment.
Oh, then actually you're fine.
So you gain 1 Dominion. You have successfully built strength.
It's
Yay.
half power rounded up for the Dominion, right? I'm not dumb.
Yeah, so 1.
Okay. I'm just making sure I understand the equation
All right.
because I'm weird like that.
You're building strength. You're starting to build that network that you've been wanting to do with your techno monks. Is there any?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what you said you were doing.
Yeah. Like, everything else I really need to actually think more on, because, like, outside of make people smart and work
Did
on
you-
the...
Ever open this and actually change things? Because I'm pretty sure I wrote your description.
I was watching when you wrote it.
All right,
Other than
that's
that, I haven't changed anything.
well, that's month 1 for that. All right, then. What's month?
Do you want to do me a favor and just for everyone's benefit, read out what it says for your cult's description?
Yeah, please.
Predominantly smartest mofos following the biggest brain. Made up of highly intelligent members. The mind tank ... add more stuff and things.
Which you have failed to do. You have failed your homework, sir.
Yeah, that was me like 7 months ago or something.
Yeah, it was.
6, but yes.
All right. So, the next person who is on the list is Korvik.
Well, Shiv still has to. Shiv, do you wish to take an external action?
Yeah.
Attack a rival, extend interest. You cannot. Actually, you can aid an ally if you wanted to. You do have Dominion now.
Well, do these actions happen simultaneously in the month? Because then he wouldn't for this.
I'm reasonably sure it goes internal then external, but I
Alright, fair
could be
enough.
wrong for that.
I
let's read
don't
the
think it
PDF.
said. I also don't think it says explicitly anywhere.
It doesn't. Not that I've read.
Remember response, central entrance influence, informed dude. Because, like, the only other thing I've got is, like, Cormac asked Shiv not to expand his network directly into his area. Because
If you could, I actually don't-
Say,
I actually don't think you can. not
1 second, let me
specify
reread the.
areas.
1 second, let me reread the. I gotta scroll down to it because I was looking at the other book.
So you're not going to accept him using any technology whatsoever to
Right.
help you be able to listen,
Radius per day around the guy.
to be able to chat
Players
from
notes.
city to city?
So far, automatically to any.
I said his specific little I stand in an area and decrete network.
Yeah, it's literally a passive thing I do so long as, and it's going to keep expanding per. 1 second, let me read it.
I don't think there's anything that says it just extends in a circle infinitely. Like, I'm pretty sure you can decide.
The
right,
network
that
expands at a
area-
rate of 1 mile per radius a day, requires no maintenance or external power, connects itself automatically to an existing network that is not specifically being kept sealed off from outside connectivity. More local needs. Also, Godbound can conjure up to half a ton of cutting-edge computing equipment and network materials per day with 10 minutes of focus. Like, you can forcibly cut the area off from the network.
Yeah, I don't have a means to do that.
Oh.
That's like putting up signal jammers and shit.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think I can actually passively do that one then.
Well, then he'll just shrug and be like, oh well.
I mean, just because it's there doesn't mean you have to use it. It's expanding at a rate of 1 mile per day.
I mean, he did give you food. Honestly, there's a bunch of stuff that Korvac did right at the beginning that he's going to eventually roll back because he got convinced by his friends. It's like, no, this is probably a good idea. And he's just like, fine.
I mean, there's still the fact that it doesn't expressly state it is a inexorable thing.
It also doesn't state the opposite either.
So you're extending your interest then.
I guess so.
No, well, that thing happens regardless. He could take no faction turns, and that'll happen every day.
Right, because that's literally just a passive power of Webry.
And that's him, not his faction.
No, but you could also extend your interests if you would like
he
with
has
another
literally
faction and the other faction.
He has literally pointed out multiple times people are free to basically come and go as they please, so I'm not sure how extending interest works here. Going back to the PDF.
It's called missionaries who run around with Kindles.
Finding new followers who will help out with the network. That's extending interest as well.
I suppose I could try that, yeah.
Yeah, God, that crazy guy on the corner was right. We are actually going to die in a horrible way.
Mm-hmm.
Dante, if you're watching, I have in fact dragged your tinfoil hat ass out here.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, what his character in universe is doing would be an extending influence.
Right. So, you actually have Dante now in your city? In Nepi?
My plan was dragging both Dante and if we could get Magnum to write something Magnum here.
Yeah, you could get Magnum if you would like. So, alright, that's you. Now, Cormac. Your first month.
I mean, we do the thing.
What is the thing?
Building strength, probably.
I rolled a 1. It's alright. Shit happens. Not worried about it.
So you don't do the thing. You don't build strength.
I didn't gain 1 dominion. This makes sense, giving my factions problems. Oh, you can't read that. Sun's Blood is a hot-headed and prone to starting conflicts. That includes with each other. They're getting in their own way. They don't.
So basically, what they were already doing, just on a grander scale.
Well, no, there's a lot of them just aren't used to working with a large number of people yet. That's how I'm rating that one up. External action. This is actually going to get folded into a. This might. What am I hearing?
Somebody eating lunch by the sounds of it.
It was it was Oscar sending me my lunch. Okay.
It was right.
Alright. Sorry.
So, Korbac's downtime activities are actually going to be interesting because he's actually doing 3 things basically simultaneously.
Uh-huh.
First, well, it's not really downtime activity. That's just kind of a fluff scene, so we can leave that one out for now. We're running low on time. First downtime scene, and this will actually play into the. Actually, there's 2 potential external actions that I might take this month, depending on how this first scene goes. After setting up the habitable zone with Raiden, Korak does head back into the city. First thing he's going to do is he's going to start talking to the members of the cult that he left in the city, which were basically all of the non-combatants. When we left, they were supposed to be gathering like cloth and stuff and supplies to basically set up tents and whatnot. They're going to begin the process of using the quote-unquote liberated FN vehicles to begin ferrying his people out through the tunnel. I am doing this under the assumption that the FN vehicles are radiation shielded, as none of the FN guys had radiation suits.
Yeah,
That's fine.
A very good point.
So it's going to take a little bit, because I think we only have like 3 or 4.
Right.
But that's fine. The other thing is, while he's in the city, after basically getting the people started on that, he's going to try to hunt down Liz's faction. By hunt down as in find, not hunt down and terminate.
Darn.
Oh,
What is your reasoning for doing so?
Because I want to talk to them.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to hunt them down, so I could be like, haha, I found you, and then left.
you've already done that with Clad Solari, so
No, they hunted me down. So therefore, I went and found them and said, I can find you just as easily as you can find me. Now back off. So the thing was intimidation.
Well, you will find them actually protesting.
Protesting
What
where?
is protesting in the area of where the cantina is, and saying that the government has done this, and
All right. Well, going to not worm my way. We're gonna weave our way through them and find out who their current de facto leader is at the moment. Or impromptu, not de facto. Fucking Latin.
okay. Excuse me. Celeste.
Okay, do I find them?
You will find them in the area. They're actually, yeah, they've been protesting what's been going on with Liz's cantina, and also asking for donations to help rebuild it and all that.
Alright, well, I'm gonna take her to the side so we can talk, well, I'm gonna try. The first thing I'll do is walk up to her and be like, you know who I am, right?
Yes.
Cool, we need to talk.
Right. What do you want to talk about?
Basically exactly what you're protesting.
The government has taken
No,
our friend.
Liz.
All right.
So Paul didn't take her.
Who did?
Mitchell. She's not on planet anymore. Who died?
Uh-oh. Hello?
oh, Panzer.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, ooh.
Make sure I'm like not gonna keep talking and Carson's not gonna hear because she died again.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
That sounds like Ignis just had a goddamn heart attack.
Yeah. We're glad we're still here. Mitchell.
Yeah. He thinks she betrayed him. So he went and took her. Now granted, he wasn't the only one trying at the time. You're right, the government did try. They tried. The Solari tried. On behalf of them, by the way. On behalf of the government, by the way. Mitchell tried, succeeded. There was another group there, and I can't remember who it was. It doesn't really matter at this point. She's off planet. That's about all I have right now. But, without your leader, you're vulnerable.
Yes.
So, I am here doing something I don't do very often, and that's extending an olive branch. I am setting up a settlement outside the city. You are absolutely welcome to take asylum with me in mind. While you're there, you will be protected as if you were my own.
And if we get her back?
Then you go do whatever she has you do. There is no strings attached to this. I respected what she did, if not her methods. And she has been helping me and my friends out. This is me paying her back for her help.
You help us get her back,
I planned on it.
then definitely we will go. We wanted to leave. She was talking about leaving.
Alright. So if you guys just up and disappear, it's gonna look bad. Or weird. So, so what I think we should do is I think we should have some of your people trickle out with some of mine. And I will fill in some of the gaps here with some people who aren't leaving the city, but are willing to help. And after we're moving the last of you guys out, we'll have the protest disband.
Sounds acceptable. I mean, there's no way we could accept anything less.
Yeah, I don't expect there's very many of you.
Thanks. Well, most of her crew tend to have been, or most of her found, I'm gonna say this right. Most of her followers tend to have been sent to New Terra when she sent the thralls, but then there were us as well.
Well, I figured I was looking at the extent of what remained here.
Yes,
Gestures to the street.
we do accept. Many of
Good.
us are in entertainment and can help other ways.
I'm not that worried about it. You're not even gonna have to worry about food. Got that taken care of.
You've thought of everything.
Yeah, then I got a water treatment system that it's gonna be moved out in a couple days. So we're not even worried about that. Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god, the fucking angry guy thinks ahead? Come on, please. You don't live as long as I do without being able to think.
You know, she didn't hate you. She actually wanted to help you.
Yeah, no, she just didn't like the way I did it.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of those times where I'm going to say whose method worked. But mine only works in the circumstances that existing. Different circumstances, her ways might have worked more. But anyway, I have some other things I got to take care of. He'll basically just be like, just link up with some of my people at my tea house. Ah, I got to build another one of those. Oh well.
Because unfortunately, you can't just
building you
teleport
one
to
in a
field.
day.
Over time, we'll set up times when we need to get with you. Is that what you... I mean, we will be here protesting until
Oh
we
no,
get
that's
her back. or
But I mean,
find a way to get her back.
Well, once you're outside the city, you're not coming back. I need to make that clear.
Yes, we are
Okay.
still accepting of this.
Okay. And that's not a, oh no, you're now like a political hostage. There are a lot of reasons why you shouldn't return, and I will fill you in once you're outside the city.
Understood.
And then quick side cut to him explaining basically everything he knows about what's going on.
I mean,
And like the point one is, without your leader, there is zero reason why anybody that didn't like your fact or didn't like them would not come and wipe them out.
they're well aware of that. Because of the fact that without the Angel of Darkness, other things are going to start happening in the city. That is very, very much like if you were going to Cyberpunk.
And then I don't think this would take like an action, but can I get a sense of the different factions that are in the city?
There's quite a few.
Okay, is there one that's just kind of a pejorative for the like your average citizen who doesn't want to be a part of any of that nonsense?
Yeah. There's the middle class. You're not the business class, the working man. Quite a few of that, yeah. And then of course some of them are part of the gangs. Gangs are not wanting to be part of it.
I don't care about the gangs. I'm talking about your average non-combatant civilian.
Non-combatant civilian, yeah. There's them.
All right. If they are in fact a mechanical faction, they're the people I'm going to put interest with.
Okay.
And the interest being like, this city is about to get rough, and I have an alternative. It's going to be hard, but I am confident that it will be a much better living than what you're about to go through.
Man, we just were. What could possibly be worse than what's already happening?
I feel like our characters keep answering this question to the general populace.
No, I specifically don't tell them because they're mind controlled by the jellyfish.
Oh, right.
And every time they find out, it flips out.
This is true.
I have insider information that this city is about to get turned upside down. It will be bad for anybody that isn't in power, tied to power, or suckling at the teat of power. For the people at the lower end, for the lower rungs, simply wanting to do your job won't be enough. You will become an expendable resource. I am not forcing this decision on anybody. I am simply offering an option. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it. I understand the trepidation that comes with accepting this offer. You're moving out to the unknown. Actually, you're moving outside the city into multiple unknowns. I am aware of the fear that will come with this.
There's even a way to live out there?
Yes. I show him pictures of the settlement as it's starting.
Okay.
And the 10-mile radius food supply.
Roll me a charisma for trying to. Well, I mean, you're. They know who you are. You're considered a murderer, and you're just talking to the working class.
I succeed.
The union, but you succeed enough for them to be like, these are real.
Yes.
Did they actually consider him a murderer? Considering how very public he's been about his
They
non-murdery
don't.
ways?
They don't. But he's known to be a murderer. and he's coming to him and this is for real, is basically now you got their attention because you've shown that this is out there and they've been told that you can't go past the city. Which is true, you really can't unless you have a hazmat suit.
Or the vehicles that we do.
Right. So, is it safe out there?
About as safe as being in the city. I won't lie. There are predatory animals out there, but my people are becoming better adept at keeping them away. Also, increasing the food supply in the area is helping them not want to be around us.
Cue the domestication plotline.
Why? Why are you doing my month 4?
Wow!
So wait, hold up. What I'm hearing is Raiden can get a pet cat finally.
All right.
Slash me hates pet cat girl.
I don't want to mutate to panthers.
God damn
The
it,
faction is willing to go
domination.
with you. It's a union, and so they'll have to make concessions with the union. A lot of them are gonna try to do this privately. So,
Oh no, he obviously. Corey's like, I already have a way to get all of you out without any problems, you and your families. There's he sends them the address of the tea house. You go here. We are handling the logistics, or not logistics. You show up where you told. You show up the time that you set up. You'll be taken out. Easy as that. All you have to do is be there.
okay.
Yeah, all that government said propaganda seems a little off now, doesn't it? Kind of cocks his head at him.
There is some people who are. All right. There are some people that are not as willing to go because it's all the home they know, and they will we
Fine.
have jobs?
Will you have jobs? You have whatever job you think you need. You want to be a hunter? You go be a hunter. You want to work the farms? You work the farms. Another one of my guys is setting up an actual industrial section. Do you want to take your job? You want to pick up your jobs there? Go for it.
Okay.
You want your jobs to be artists? That's absolutely fine here.
Still some apprehension, but there is people willing to join. A lot of apprehension, though, at first.
Fine, I expected this.
That might change over time when they start noticing that it is getting worse.
Oh, any interest I put in this particular faction is going to immediately be decimated when Opus rises, because I really won't have access to him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can have access to them. It's just, it'd be a pain in the ass and a lot of Dominion to get them off. I can do it.
Are you pushing this faction to become
No.
part of yours,
No.
or to work
Nope.
with you?
I am just, this is my external action of just putting interest. And my interest in this is protecting these people from future events.
All right. I mean, there are, like I said, there's going to be some people who are not interested in doing this because they're like, what do you actually have out there? You have nothing yet.
Ideally, what this interest would be me retheming the attack arrival as, like in that last month, I would roll attack arrival to basically convince them to relocate.
Now that is probably when you will get a chance, better than right away. Oh.
Yeah, this first thing is like he knew he'd get a few people to go and like trickle out. You know, the people that already have it really bad, like the guys that just lost their jobs,
Yeah.
somebody who just lost like a spouse or a kid, and they're just like, you know what, fuck it, what else do I have to lose?
So yeah, they're gonna trickle out. It's gonna take some time. It will be probably the last month when you'll start getting people.
Yeah, well, I mean, my action there will be the reskinned attack arrival with not the intent of destroying, but relocating.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
Hey, quick thing. I gotta hop off here soon.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to know my faction turn, it's gonna be gain power, then put interest in, I guess, Ignis's, because I still owe him weapons and all that.
Yep, go ahead and write that down on your faction sheet.
Yeah.
Roll your
Can you-
d6 real fast.
Yeah. Roll your
That's gonna do right
d6.
quick.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
And
You
put
couldn't have
interest.
done any better. You
Put
have
one
it.
Dominion point in, one free, and interest Ignis.
Yep. Okay.
Because I owe him weapons, and a weapon manufacturer or manufacturer would also be beneficial for you too.
Yeah, one of my subsequent turns will be reciprocating that interest towards you.
So I've got to hop off there real quick.
Okay.
So
Take
I'll
care,
catch you
man.
all next week.
All right.
Yep.
Take care. We have so basically we have the turns done for Raiden 2. Kira, is there anything you wanted to do during your first month, and is there any downtime you would like to work with? And that will probably be the rest of the day. Kira? Bosch?
They might have fallen asleep.
Yeah. Expected it. Okay. So yeah. Alright, so I think that's everybody who has done their factions. It is 2:15, so it's
Yeah,
a good
but-
time to stop.
Yeah, we made up the time you lost from the unscheduled maintenance.
Yeah. Unscheduled maintenance that I didn't know was gonna happen. This is true. Alright.
That's what unscheduled means.
Don't make me hit you.
I am stating the obvious. Sorry.
You know what?
Uh-huh.
Magicka shouldn't be the Godbound of time. Magicka should be the Godbound of being Captain fucking Obvious. And also, his artifact should literally just be the dictionary.
I am definition man.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is it a
Oh.
bird? Is it a plane? No, it's actually a Coriolis effect. I'm reading it from my dictionary.
Your definition man.
You
That
just
must
look
mean you have.
over like, oh my god, Captain Obvious, shut up.
That must mean you have. No. He's like, no. I am definition man. Captain Obvious is in the other city.
Okay. Well, I think we did quite a bit, and we still have a lot more to do. We have several more months and several more things that can happen during that time. But this went well. This was a good start. We finally have an idea of where we're going to go with the Godbound. The Ascended are figuring out their cults and starting to get power.
Well, a couple of us are starting to get power. I think 3 of us failed
Yay.
miserably.
Cult and Corp. They'll make. Okay. We'll talk about that soon. So as you know, the faction actions you have available to your internal is building strength, enacting change, restoring cohesion. Your external action is aiding an ally attacking a rival, extending interest or removing interest. And then there are, of course, special interests. Um, good start, guys. Thank you for doing this. I hope that we can continue on this way. Now that my life has changed and gone back to a more of a normal, we are back into Godbound. And I hope you guys are having fun and continue to do so.
This is the first Godbound session in a long time where we haven't killed something.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Or something die on you. Actually, no. You did
There.
kill somebody.
I killed a rabbit.
You did. No, actually, Ignis killed somebody. He killed a gang. He just took them out.
Oh, true.
So,
Okay, we as a group didn't kill somebody.
true. What do we have in Twitch? Well, there is Ghost to Tsushima, Resident Evil, or Subnautica. Anybody interested in anything, or do you care?
I mean, which Resident Evil is it?
Yeah.
4.
I mean, it is your stream. I was just asking because I was curious. I'm not gonna be watching either way.
Alright, let's just go to Hellfather. Hellfather is... Or no, let's go to Magrum. Let's go ahead and go to Magrum today, because we haven't seen him in a while.
I only care about Subnautica if they're gonna go to the edge of the map and get eaten by the Leviathan.
Really?
Because I find the Leviathan's hilarious.
Big fish.
Big ghost fish, actually.
Oh yeah, the ones on the border. Yeah.
I'll be brutally honest, the plot of Subnautica has always kind of confused me.
I'll be
Right.
brutally honest, is because the plot of Subnautica is incredibly vague, and it's not supposed to make 100% sense, because almost every single person involved in it is dead before you arrive.
Thank you for all being here. Appreciate it. Have
True.
a wonderful day and goodbye.
You just go there and do the thing so you can eventually leave. Or you just say, fucking, go get yourself eaten by a giant ghost fish.
Both are, in fact, valid options.